Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that your weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, as we are fond of saying each and every Monday, right about this time of the day, good Lord willing, you will still be here when the next one comes our way, and you will have the opportunity to try it all over again. We start today's show with the old adage, well, that didn't take long. We conservatives slash deplorables slash conspiracy theorists slash tinfoil hat wearing expletive deleted, you fill in the blank here, warned y'all what was going to happen with our economy in the wake of a Biden presidency. Day one, right out the gate, Louisiana, Texas, Alaska, Montana, welcome to your new reality. Day one of the Biden presidency, the Keystone XL pipeline shut down by Joe Biden. Thousands of jobs impacted in the midst of a freaking pandemic, with the economy being crippled. And the first order of business for you, Joe Biden, is to cancel, shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. This could not have come at a worse time for South Louisiana. As you well know, I'm sure by now, the Shell refinery, Norco, ring a bell? Being shut down after efforts to find a buyer proved fruitless. 1,100 jobs gone in a puff of smoke. And Louisiana's economy, already struggling because of lockdowns, COVID, the whole nine, will now lose further business because Joe Biden decided climate change is so important that we need to fix this problem. There's an old adage that we as Americans get the government we voted for. And in this case, truer words were never spoken. Joe Biden, for his part, says that this is a crisis, climate change, and we have to do everything within our power to fix the problem. Quote, "The United States and the world face a climate crisis. That crisis must be met with action on a scale and at a speed commensurate with the need to avoid setting the world on a dangerous, potentially catastrophic climate trajectory." Does that even sound like something Joe Biden would write or say? Marty, you have no idea how right you were just now. If what I heard was what I thought I heard, you hit the nail on the head, buddy. But you know what is so ironic out of this, and very telling, by the way? Joe Biden, the left, the environmentalists, say we've got to shut down the Keystone XL pipeline because of climate crisis. You do realize, do you not, that by shutting down the pipeline, 300 miles of which has already been built, over $1 billion, with the B as in bugs, already invested, not to mention the thousands of jobs at stake. But you realize now, all this oil that has to be moved, because we've got to drive cars, we've got to heat homes, we've got to do all the things that we do with oil and gas. All of this oil and gas now has to be moved by truck and by train. So that means, climate alarmist, we are going to spew into the atmosphere countless more tons of particulate matter into the atmosphere, because all of this stuff now has to be moved by a truck and or train. Not to mention the fact that by moving all of this cargo by truck and by train, you increase exponentially the odds of something going horribly wrong. But in an effort to save the planet, day one, thousands of jobs gone. Day one, paychecks for thousands of families gone. But don't worry, they're going to replace all this with green jobs. Tell you what, Louisiana, I'm going to check back with you, in about 4 years and see how that's worked out for us. Now, if all of this weren't bad enough, in an effort to address the climate crisis, you're actually going to spew more pollution because you're moving all of this stuff now by truck and train instead of moving it through a pipeline. If it weren't bad enough that you're doing this in the middle of a freaking pandemic, if it weren't bad enough that you are taking all of this productivity out of the American economy while the economy is crippled. If all that weren't bad enough, finally, after the prior administration did everything within its power to once again finally make us energy independent, we take this giant step backward. Finally, when we get to the point where we don't need these other countries anymore, we don't need to be at the mercy of these other countries and their oil and gas, we are finally, once again, energy independent. You got to think the other socialist oil-producing companies, communist oil-producing countries, they got to be ecstatic over this. What's the old saying? You get the government that you voted for? Marty, am I holding there? Yeah, Mark, I'm going to slide you in before this first break. Good morning to you, my friend. How are you, Mark?
How are you doing, Clarence?
It's still a great day to be an American, buddy. Holding on.
Got a question for you.
Sure.
You, Bill, and Kevin are known for calling the shots exactly as you feel them.
Right.
This morning, they put one of the congressmen under sanction by the big tech companies for a book he wrote.
Okay.
Going to take him off his email or whatever it is, his telephone,
right,
Twitter, or whatever he's got.
Right.
They said also this morning that sooner or later it's going to hit state by state and neighborhood by neighborhood.
Probably.
What would y'all do if they sanctioned what y'all are doing on TV by saying what you think?
We continue to do what we do because that's who we are. They'll just have to do it.
Well, I hope it never happens. I hope I never see it.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Mark, but that's the road we are well on, my friend. We left the starting gate. We have made the first turn in the road, and it is pedal to the metal. Scary.
Well, it's scaring the fire out of me. I'm telling you what this country's headed for now.
You and I both, my friend. Mark, stay safe, my friend. Mark, what is most scary to me is not the fact that it's happening. People will do what you allow them to do. What is most scary to me is the number of Americans that think it's okay for big tech to do this. You know, growing up, Mark, I don't know if you or anybody watching right now was ever bullied in school, but the bullying would continue unless and until that day you decided, I had enough of this crap and I'm not taking it anymore. Scary part, Mark, is you've heard me coin this phrase many times. Freedoms and liberties encroached upon by government are seldom, if ever, returned intact. Got to get my first break of today's show out of the way. Of course, it is Monday, so they're all giddy in the truck. They're getting ready for another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. Got some doozies for you. Let me get this first break out of the way. That's up next on the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owe the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. If you are new to the show, new to the station, new to the area, in response to the recent outbreak, pandemic, if you will, not COVID-19, mind you, the pandemic of stupid in this country has led us to coin a segment on Monday where we look around the country at newsmakers, elected leadership, politicians, social trends, media, yada, yada, blah, 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 and point out how we apparently in this country are now hell-bent on setting new standards of stupidity. Not necessarily S-T-U-P-I-D, you know, stupid we've all become accustomed to, but this one, S-T-O-O-P-I-D. That's an entirely new level of stupid. Today, we start on this edition of Not That's Just Stupid with Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat out of California. Now, I could probably stop right there. Just say Maxine Waters, Democrat, California. Now that's stupid. But all you got to do, and honestly, I am shocked that it took her to the 25th of this month to make this edition of Now That's Just Stupid. Sunday, in an interview on MSNBC on The Sunday Show, Maxine Waters claimed that Donald Trump will attempt to take over legislatures, little towns, and cities. Therefore, he must be convicted in his second impeachment trial to, quote, take away his power. Quote, I do believe he sent all these domestic terrorists to the Capitol to take over the Capitol. And that includes not only the Proud Boys, but the Oath Keepers, the QAnon, the white supremacists. These people have been aligned with him. One of the things I hope that will be looked at as we take this impeachment to the Senate is the fact that in his campaign for re-election, he was paying the very organizers of the insurrection that took place. She continues, I think it's very clear we cannot afford to allow this president to leave here without being impeached and, you know, absolutely convicted. We cannot allow him to leave and have all of the resources of the taxpayers to have not only money to hire staff, but to hire security and money to organize with, because he'll continue. He now knows he has a population. He's going to expand that. He will be attempting to take over legislatures, little towns, and cities. And he doesn't give a darn about the Constitution. And so our democracy is at stake. We must convict him, and we must take away his power. Let me get this right, Mad Max. Let me get this right. He's already left office. Check. We already have another president. Check. But you're worried about Donald Trump taking over, quote, legislatures, little cities, and towns. But if we convict him and throw him out of the office that he's already out of, then our little towns and cities and legislatures will all be safe. Now that's just stupid. With all that is going on in this country this day, with the millions of Americans who are suffering, businesses shuttered, loved ones quarantined, this is the kind of crap that you find the time to spew? Of course, now, Maxine Waters is not new to this game, okay? Maxine Waters has been elected, re-elected, re-elected, and re-elected again. So while what she said qualifies for, now that's just stupid, what does that say about the people who elected her and then re-elected and re-elected and re-elected her? Ding, 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 you got a winner. Now that's just stupid. We move along. Everybody knows now, and the entire Jeopardy universe has been watching to see what's going to happen with Jeopardy now that Alex Trebek is no longer with us. Katie Couric is a name that almost immediately surged to the front of the line. Well, that was up until Ms. Couric decided she couldn't keep her fat mouth shut and granted an interview where she just let us all know how she truly feels about conservatives. On the Bill Maher show, and I guess that should tell you, again, everything you need to know. We are talking about, now that's just stupid. She showed support for those that are of the opinion that we conservatives need to, quote, be deprogrammed. In the interview with Meyer, quote, "It is so shocking. Not only are they not conceding the results of the election, but their thoughts that there might have been some collusion among members of Congress. Some are refusing to go through metal detectors to check for weapons. They're not wearing masks during this siege." She goes on to say, and the question is, how are we going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump? Right out the gate, the folks at Jeopardy said, whoa, 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 Hoss, back that bus up a little bit. Why is this stupid? Well, the obvious, because we're Americans, we have a right to our opinion, and damn it, we got a right to express it. But on top of that, what's even more stupid is the fact that Jeopardy is primarily home to a conservative demographic. Libs don't watch Jeopardy. Jeopardy, pretty much by and large, is about history. All of the categories pretty much cover something that happened in history. Libs are the ones who want to rewrite history. I mean, after all, there's, the systemic racism thing going on, so who wants to be reminded that every single thing that's ever been done in America was always racist? Who wants to relive that on a daily basis? It's kind of like the same page from the NBA playbook. You don't insult half of your audience. And in this particular case, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. Most of the folks that watch Jeopardy are conservative. But that's okay, because Katie Couric is going to figure out how to deprogram us. You might have just deprogrammed your stupid behind out of a job. Speaking of, now that's just stupid. I don't know if I got time to sneak this last one in for you. Yeah, what the heck? It's the Clarence Bug Show. I can change on a dime if I want. That's why I'm up here. Yeah, you tell that to Marty when he goes to clacking that clicker over there. Ran across the story and I thought about my dear friend Bill Profita this weekend. From a local news station, quote unquote. The headline of the article, and this is pretty much a knock on all media, because it's unfortunately what they've become these days. But the article I ran across from this local news organization says Governor John Bel Edwards, I want to give you the exact headline. Bear with me, if you will. All right, I'll paraphrase it for you. The article says, Governor John Bel Edwards says we may be reaching a plateau with the number of cases of COVID-19. That's the headline. Article is maybe, 20, 25 paragraphs long. But never once did they tell you how he came to that conclusion and what the stats are. Media. Don't cut and paste. if you're not going to take the time to do the research, if you're not going to take the time to put more content into the article than clickbait of a headline, leave the story alone. Because people look to you to be informed. And when you stick up a headline like this with no content at all, you know what we say about that, right? Yep, that's just stupid. Let me get this break out of the way. Marty's sitting there looking at me like this. He's not clacking yet, though. Y'all didn't hear that yet. That's right around the corner. Quick break, and we'll talk more on today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masks help us slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask, wash our hands, and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up. Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. I saw something this weekend that was truly disturbing. Now listen, y'all, listen. Let's understand something here. I've been doing this longer than some of y'all been alive. This ain't my first rodeo. And through 41 years of broadcasting, covering politics, social trends, sports, etc., I've become a fairly observant individual. I am one that, because of the nature of my occupation, I make it a point to entertain all sides of an issue. Obviously, you cannot agree with all sides of an issue, but if you are going to offer a valid opinion of something, you have to take all of these things into account. Which is why this bothered me so very much. Amazon, the mega company now, has offered the Biden administration vaccine assistance. They are offering to help President Biden hasten the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines. Executive Director Dave Clark pitched the idea to Joe Biden as soon as he took office in a Wednesday letter, also congratulating him on his inauguration. Quote, "We are prepared to leverage our operations, IT, and communications capabilities and expertise to assist your administration's vaccination efforts. Our scale allows us to make a meaningful impact immediately." The obvious question that most Americans, many of whom have helped during this pandemic to make Amazon more money than they could have ever dreamed of in their wildest imaginations. But I've got to wonder why a day after Trump leaves, Biden arrives, do you make this overture of the untold billions of dollars that Amazon made from Americans, locked down through no fault of our own, something we had absolutely nothing to do with, something that enriched your coffers, Amazon, by billions and billions of dollars. And you didn't think, apparently, to, quote, leverage your operations, IT, and communications capabilities and expertise to assist with vaccination efforts, saying our scale, meaning their reach, their scope of operations, is such that we could make a meaningful impact immediately. So all these packages you delivered, people scared to come to the door, all the money you made, and all the people who died, well, that can wait till after Biden takes office. Amazon's going to have to answer some questions behind this. So when, Amazon, did you make the same offer to the Trump administration? You better have a date, Hoss, and you better have a copy of the email dated that you sent saying, well, we offered this to the previous administration, but they turned us down. How you can explain to the American public, with all these folks dead now, with all these folks out there now that want to take a vaccine, God bless your little old heart, with all the folks out there now that are seeing the disconnect between government and the citizenry, you better have an email where you led an outreach to the previous administration. Because if you don't, that pretty much tells any American with half a freaking brain what Amazon really thinks about you. If you really cared about the people that made you filthy rich through no fault of their own, if you really cared about them, you would be offering your assistance to anybody who would listen. Funny how that works, isn't it? By the way, speaking of funny how things work, did you know that now that the inauguration is over, now that we haven't had any reports of violence at any of the state capitals, well, except for Antifa in Portland, they still rioting and burning crap and tearing stuff down, but that's them, blessed little hearts, that's what they do. Now that all the fear has proven unwarranted, well, we've got intel that said there's going to be armed, violent protests in all 50 state capitals and D.C. Now that we find out all that crap was a lie, did you know the plan is in the works right now to keep up to 7,000 National Guard troops on duty in our nation's capital? Let me get this right. You brought in 26,000 National Guard troops because we were under the impression that there's going to be all this violent insurrection all across the country and D.C. Not a blip on the radar. But there's the need to keep 7,000 armed National Guardsmen on the streets of our nation's capital until mid-March? What's that all about? Y'all do realize, don't you? And it doesn't take long for ironies to reveal themselves. Remember how the mainstream media and the Democrats fed y'all that narrative? Oh, Donald Trump is going to declare martial law, and he's going to have armed people out in the streets, and they're going to shut everything down. Well, who is it now that wants to keep 7,000 armed National Guardsmen on the streets of our nation's capital to mid-March? What's that all about? Reportedly, the plan being discussed right now is for those National Guardsmen who remain after this month and into midway through March, they will do so on a voluntary basis. Now you tell me how I'm supposed to make sense of this as an American. Y'all do realize, do you not, on Inauguration Day, and this will maybe bring it home for you, maybe. On Inauguration Day, there were more armed United States service members on the streets of Washington, D.C. than there were on the streets of Afghanistan. I'm going to let that sink in. In the land of the free and home of the brave, on freaking Inauguration Day, there were more armed United States soldiers on the streets of our nation's capital than were armed and patrolling the streets of Afghanistan. But it's Trump that's the one that we got to watch. Funny how that works, isn't it? Like I started off today's show telling y'all, you get the government that you voted for. Of course, now, there are us deplorables out there that say, hey, man, wait a minute, don't put that crap on me. I didn't vote for him, and I got a real strong sneaking suspicion the rest of them clowns didn't vote for him either, but that's a different show for a different day. Oh, that's right, you can't say that. You can't say the election was stolen. You can't say it was rigged. Don't forget, can't say that. Let me get this final break of today's show out of the way. Wouldn't be right to end the show with all this misdirection, all this hiding of the ball, all this changing of the rules, if we didn't point out to you yet another way that the media is hoodwinking, snookering, and bamboozling us all the way down from the national to the local level. We'll get this out of the way. Come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we're going to wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. A couple of observations before we wrap up our time with you today. Unless you have completely divorced yourself from the news cycle since the start of the year, you are painfully aware of the homicide rates all across the country and particularly in our beloved Louisiana. A couple of homicides really caught my attention over the weekend. 4 female juveniles arrested in Lake Charles for stabbing a 15-year-old girl to death at a Walmart. The alleged offenders range in age from 12 to 15 years of age. Meanwhile, in New Iberia, 2 16-year-old juveniles shoot one another to death. And of course, here in the capital city, in Baton Rouge, we are on pace for a record number of homicides for the month of January. And yet, systemic racism and social justice is what we're told we should focus on. You know, I've got an obligation, as Mark said earlier, to call them like I see them. And it is painful to watch the media attempt to orchestrate and carry out a narrative that is specifically designed to divert attention from the real problem. I should have asked white folk to leave the room for this last segment so I could talk just to my brothers. All right, see you later, Marty. Marty just got up off the side, heading out the back. Unless and until we as people of color decide to start holding our elected officials accountable, and unless and until we decide to stop swallowing hook, line, and sinker this crap that the media is feeding us about systemic racism and social justice, unless and until we decide to do this, nothing's going to change, y'all. I would certainly be willing to listen, because one of my hallmarks of 4 decades plus of broadcasting is my ability to listen and appreciate all points of view. So if you can tell me, I'm certainly willing to listen, if you can tell me how systemic racism and social justice had anything to do with 4 juveniles stabbing a 15-year-old girl to death in a Walmart in Lake Charles, I would certainly be interested in hearing it. If you can explain to me how, if we had social justice, these 2 black 16-year-olds would not have seen fit to murder one another. If you can explain to me how systemic racism has led Baton Rouge to be on path for a record number of homicides in the month of January, I'm willing to listen. But at the end of the day, y'all, I'm a realist. And as horrific as the thought is, it is what it is, because the facts are what the facts are. If you open the newspaper tomorrow, turn on the television, go to Twitter, whatever you do, and you see longtime Baton Rouge broadcaster, victim of homicide, It ain't going to be at the hands of some random white boy. It's going to be at the hands of somebody that looks just like me. I will tell you again, all you social justice people and all you the systemic racism warriors, I'm going to tell all you clowns again. Black males ages 15 to 39, the future of the race in this country, the baby makers, the leading cause of death, 41%, is homicide at the hands of other young black men. Until you address that, I don't want to hear a damn thing you got to say about systemic whatever. Until that's addressed and we call it like it is, keep your freaking mouth shut about your social justice. I'm going to tell you like it is, because somebody needs to. We running around here marching and rioting, looting and burning all this kind of crap while blood is freaking flowing through the streets and filling up the gutters. But it's systemic racism that we need to focus on. You freaking idiots. Black folk, unless and until we grab this bull by the horns, things are not going to change. So you better hug them while you got them. Talking about your children. You better hug them while you got them. And as sad a commentary as it is, at the rate we're going, a whole lot of us, tens of thousands, if not millions of us people of color, we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we say, dang, all that time and energy and effort I spent on a fictitious problem, I should have been speaking out on the things that really matter. Of course, that means you got to get off your lazy behind, but that's a different show for a different day. Like I always say, when you tune in here, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, but you can be darn sure, buddy, I'll tell you what you need to hear. End of discussion. That being said, my time's up and I got to go. But again, this day like any other, you're right. America ain't perfect, hoss. But doggone it, for this old boy's money, it's still the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.